Leon, it's been 6 hours since our last transmission. I was starting to get worried.
The Kennedy Report, Chapter 1. My mission isn't going very smoothly. I entered a town with 2 friends and 20 bullets. I left with 0 friends and no bullets. What was supposed to be a routine mission ended up becoming anything but. It was normal for me to be sent into countries to destabilize them. Normally, it usually takes a hair flip or even 2. But from the get-go, things were not as they seem. The locals were hostile, and they were all, in fact, pirates, disguised as villagers. During an altercation with the villagers, a church bell rang in the distance, acting as a sort of dinner bell. While trying to gather more information on this, I end up running into a very attractive Spaniard named Louis. Unfortunately, after an altercation with the pirate's captain, I ended up alone. Well, thankfully this isn't my first rodeo, so I trudged on until I met another European who did what all Europeans do, and sold guns. In my search, I end up coming across a lake and getting into a sword fight with something almost as big as me. I come out on top. I tamed it, but it wanted more. I pass out in a cabin nearby, and I have strange dreams. Dreams that prove that in the altercation with the large cock of the dock, I ended up bearing its child. I had no choice but to move on, to rid myself of the consequences of unprotected combat. I just hope it didn't give me any viruses.
You're okay, right?
I'm all right now. I'm gonna continue my mission.
I walked through the door and was greeted to a horrifying sight. But the tables quickly turned, because once they said, I said, nah, I'd win. My celebration didn't last long. As I ran down the path, I recalled what this part was. I needed at least 3 bullets just to take out the boxes to jump on, and had to face a horde ahead of me with no ammo. I couldn't knife the boxes, and a pirate was taking potshots at me from above. So I had no choice. I reloaded my save, used the ammo on the boxes, went back, upgraded my gun to finish the enemies, and looed. Went back, upgraded the gun again so I had more ammo for the horde boss, and tackled both. A group of pirates opened the brig, and out comes, just as guessed, your mother. Well, as usual, she goes down after only 2 shots, and I leave her with very little load left to shoot. I make my way to the church again, being chased by the dog that was indeed in me. I can't believe I typed it like that. I make my way back to the church, being chased by the dog that was indeed in me, and ran inside the church, hoping to finally thank the kind religious people for saving me. But there was nobody there. I looked around for anyone, and after opening a suspiciously caged door, I find a little girl, kept prisoner by the religious people. Weird. Never would have expected that from them. They seemed so nice. The girl shows her one act of competency in the entire game that isn't player-controlled, and threw a stick at me. I told her that if she messed up my makeup, she'd be sleeping with the fishes, because I'd left my makeup in the cop's car at the beginning of my journey. She said she could help me find a Sephora nearby. And that's where my new mission was. And she guided me onward until I was stopped by the Pope himself. When I questioned his involvement in this little white girl's capture, he said she was indeed the president's daughter, and she'd come to this village on spring break after saying she wanted the Far Cry 3 experience. I wondered what happened to her friends here then. The Pope said that the church was supposed to keep her safe from the pirates until her father picked her up, and that it was built with the government money to let all walks of life worship whatever religion that America chooses for them. The Pope welcomed in some hooded figures to protect the girl for now, but hating the fact that I had hair, tried to shoot us with crossbows. Being a responsible adult, I grabbed the girl and jumped out the glass window before she could get locked up again, and have her be unable to help me find the local Sephora. Unfortunately, the path was blocked by some pirates who heard the commotion. I decided to run past them, as usual. I tested out some shots, but still no hand cannon ammo. The girl, who was named Ashley, recommended I shoot some barrels and blow the pirates up, which scared me, so I locked her in a crate. I restarted this checkpoint a couple times to try and kill as many possible with as few shots, and one time I did, I broke a barrel and... oh my god. Could it be my first box of hand cannon ammo? But I had to conserve it for the cabin, so I trudged on and upgraded my gun to 8 bullets. I had 13 rounds for the cabin fight, and at the end of the time of writing this, I have no idea how it'll go. I wanted to break the medallions and cheat by using the Punisher for the cabin, since I had so many handgun bullets and the Punisher was pretty much like using no gun at all. But I wasn't going to waste ammo breaking them, and I couldn't reach them with my knife, and using anything else would be, well, cheating. I approached the cabin, and Hunnigan called again, telling me extraction was ready, but I refused. I had to go deeper into the country in order to get some makeup. Before she could protest, I hung up and approached a large cabin to hide in while it rained. When I did, however, I was met with yet another stick thrown at my head. It must be a greeting here. I don't know where to put the stick, but once I saw it was Lewis who threw it, I had to keep him here. So I barred the door with it. But the worst thing happened. He started talking to Sephora Girl, even taking note of the jiggle physics they decided to give her for the Ultimate HD edition of the game. Thank you, Capcom. Very cool. He complimented her ballistics, no doubt referencing the 4 million civilians killed by US ballistics and weaponry since 2001. Their conversation was cut short by approaching pirates, and I quickly told Sephora Girl to get upstairs so Mommy and Daddy could fend off intruders. I readied my 13 bullets and waited. The first, and best attempt, ended up not being recorded. I even got more ammo during the fight, until I was, ironically, smacked with a stick and died. I was also struck with hard drive issues because I got a cheap and most likely fake brand of hard drive from Amazon. After restarting the console and reinserting the hard drive 3 times, I was able to record again. 2 more tries and no ammo gained later, and I made it with very little ammo left. The trick was to seal up each wall separately and allow Lewis to shoot for a bit. I even allowed myself 2 kicks out of anger at my hard drive. The plagas on the head were the worst to deal with, because one shot didn't kill them unless it was a headshot, which had very little room for collateral kills. Still, I managed to make it out after using all of my fish. We were then presented with 2 paths, and with the gift of hindsight, I chose the right path, leading to a quick battle with your other mom. Down to 2 bullets, I refused to get the treasure and get to the door leading outside the village. But it needed a rectal scanner to get through? Whose ass did I need to press against to leave? I found a really lame gondola and stepped on. I used my 2 bullets on the jumping pirates and deflected as many toxic axes tossed at me from the side. Could have been worse, to be honest. I found the merchant again and decided to upgrade my gun a final time for no reason whatsoever. Me and Sephora Girl approached a shack, and I briefly tell her to get lost, since I'd be embarrassed if anyone saw me with someone in that sweater. Seriously, Why have a cozy wool sweater if it doesn't have sleeves? Do you want to be warm or not? Anyway, I step in the building and feel a presence near me. It was the pirate captain. He heard that I allowed myself those kicks and came to settle the score with me. I didn't want to stand in his way, but I wasn't going to let him take away my trip to Sephora. And just to spite him, I used my basic handgun to blow up his rum, and he turned into a lobster. I show him how well I've done with this challenge, and unloaded 6 rounds into him, causing him to split in half and die. That's when it hit me. The captain had the key to the exit. It was his bottom half he just dropped that needed to be scanned by the rectal scanner. So I took it and put it in my briefcase and whistled my way past Sephora girl before she could ask about it. Now it was time to head to Sephora. The captain's ass worked, and I went to leave, but I was blocked by your average truck driver with flags in their truck. I wanted to ignore them, but I had to see what was in the boxes, and in the process, I did get some ammo. But then, I had to use a bunch of it to escape. We crossed the bridge to Sephora, but the remaining pirates heard about their sale. If you buy 1 item for twice the price, you can get 1 item for half price.